I was trying to get Larry to help me with my keyboard. You know, the one that I slammed a pie in my face 2 weeks ago. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I got freaking pie in it, dude. And all of a sudden my keys were sticking. And Larry's saying, well, just pull the keys out. Well, I was trying to get the keys out of this thing. And here it is. You see this? And then this key, it flew out. And then my cats were batting it around. Daggone thing. There. How about that? Now look at what you've done. So now look at what he did.
He tried it.
Larry, damn it. Now you made me break my keyboard. Now look at what you've done.
Jennifer thought she said she thought you were going to take your eye out.
Why would I do that? I got 4 of them. I'm not going to give up one of them. Hey, Glenn. How you doing, man?
How you doing, Mark?
Well, I can show you. Look out. See if you can see out the door here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Wait a minute. Yeah, there it is. Look at that snow coming down, man. It's like the icy snow. I don't know if that's showing up very well, but yeah, it's not good, man. We're going to be holed in for at least a week here. And it's going to get down to 0 next week. Well, today's actually the beginning of the week. So it's going to suck here for a while. So let's see who we got in here today. We haven't done this show for, I believe it, we missed five weeks. If anybody's can ask about what happened, and I might even share. Let's see, we got Sky Warrior said he might be dropping in, which is good. He's got to move some snow a little later. Well, speaking of snow, Chucky kept bugging me wanting to go outside. I'm like, all right, he wants to find out. So I took him out. I could barely get the door open back there, so I let him go out. He stepped into the snow and then looked back at me with this look like, what the hell? And then he found out and came right back in. So that ended that. So I did get a video of that. So that's the good news. So the weather here is horrible. Just horrible. And before all this started, I'm sure there's no coincidence. I'm sure this had nothing to do with it. But they sprayed the holy crap out of the skies.
No.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that didn't have anything to do with the weather. I'm just going to say that because I'm sarcastic. There's Sky Warrior. Hey, how you doing, bud? Oh, I'm sorry. That was the post he made a little while ago. It's okay, man. I haven't done this show in a while. So. And there's me. We're holding for at least a week, and that's true. Mad Dog, how you doing, bud? It's been a while since we've done this show.
Hey, Mark, I'm going to run to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Go for it, man. I'm going to tell Mad Dog what happened. Mad Dog, the reason we haven't done the show for 5 or 6 weeks, I'm going to give you a little teaser first, and then we'll get into it. It was all because of a colonoscopy. Did you hear that? A good colonoscopy. I'm talking about one that turned out well. And I'll explain here in a little while. Because of a colonoscopy, this show went offline for 5 weeks, maybe 6. You're probably thinking, what the hell is he talking about? We'll get into it. You got a unit with 4 jewelry boxes, and it's got a KitchenAid mixer mid-century. Are you kidding me? Holy crap. We can't even get out the driveway right now, man. We're stuck. And we're just hoping like hell that nothing happens to the power. And, it is coming down, but it's not a wet kind of thing, so it's not sticking to the wires or the tree limbs and everything. So I think we're going to be okay. We hope. And Mad Dog says, "Hi everybody, how are you? There's 100 units on Storage Treasure for Glenn, my buddy Stacker, and there's auctions on Logger Fox for Stacker and self storage. This is actually a very bad time for me because the weather is so bad that I can't even get out of the driveway right now. So I will look at them. I wish that I could buy them and just pay for it online and just rent it online, not even leave the house and secure it. That would be cool. I mean, I guess if you knew the manager well enough, you could probably pull that off. But right now is bad time for me because of the weather. And this weather is. Did I mention the weather? which will lead up to more units for my buddy Stacker to look at, probably about 50 or 60. Well, we will look at them here in a little bit. I really would like to get back to do it. I haven't bought a unit in so long that I forgot how to do it, man. I'm sure it'll come back to me. Yeah. Mad Dog says, how do you feel about an old lady locker that came up over a year ago with a jewelry box, mid-century pottery, and a kitchen? I think that's a good sounding locker, man. Wait, where's your post at? There it is. I feel like that's a good unit. I mean, from the way you described it, the jewelry box is what's got me because silver's over $100 an ounce, Glenn. And do you realize that now is the time that people can make so much money? It's ridiculous. Gold's $500.
I've been seeing online where people are selling their gold and buying silver.
I think you should, unless, well, here's what I think, and this is based on what a lot of the people that are so-called experts think. I think gold will hit $20,000. I was way under when I said I thought it would hit 10. I think this year, I think silver will be up to $250 to $500 by the end of the year, and I think it'll go over $1,000 to $1,200. Reason being, America is going to build a golden dome over the country like Israel's got. It's going to take tons and tons and tons and tons of silver, of which we're finding out in retrospect, all of our silver was in paper. Not all of it, but a lot of it. That's how they were keeping the price of it down. There's all these paper manipulations. So anyway, I digress. Also, silver is going to be needed in AI, which is going to be, Trump's already said he wants to be the leader in AI. Well, that takes silver. You can do it with gold, but silver is a little bit cheaper. So they're going to use silver. Silver is what our money was supposed to be back, gold and silver. Back in 63, think about the year, back in November of 63, we were going to switch to that. It didn't happen because of a certain event.
Yeah.
We were gonna. The new financial system was supposed to start in September of 2001. Things happened, and it didn't happen. What's different now, you might ask? The whole old system's being taken down. How is that possible? I don't know if I can get into that, or I don't even know if I know, but I know one thing, it's happening. Because you know how you can tell it's happening? By the price of precious metals. That ends the old system because it had to have, it had to be able to manipulate, you know. So wow, think about that, man. This is how people can, if you can put any money into silver, now would be the time while it's still cheap. I know you're thinking, well, it's not really cheap compared to what it was 2 years ago. Like, here's an example. Remember when I went and bought, I said, how many silver dollars can I get for $1,000? You remember when I did that video?
Yeah.
So I went and I got 30 silver dollars for $1,000. Well, now a silver dollar just right now at $103 an ounce is $82 for one. So 10 of them's 820. So 30 would be 2,400. So they've gone up that much in 2 years. And just think how much they're going to go up. it's going to be the biggest wealth transfer in history because people are going to be able to grab it. Just knowing all they need is some of these. You don't even need a whole lot of it, the way it's going to go up. So there's that. Just thought I would touch on that because here it is. I think the last time we were online here with this show, it was what, 5 or 6 weeks ago. Silver wasn't close to $100 then. It was on the way, but it wasn't anywhere near. And just had to touch on that because that's exciting news, man. Your lucky number this week is extra space 402. There's supposed to be 4 numbers, man. 402. Did you miss a number? For your lucky 3 units, maybe, or maybe you'll be lucky at Locker Fox. Yeah, most of the ones that I do are kind of like on Storage Treasures, but we'll check and see. Your lucky price right now is at $80 for a unit with four jewelry boxes, tools, sports cards, and mid-century items. I wonder if Stacker can see through the see-through totes and see the jewelry. Wow, man, we're gonna have to check that out, man. So anyway, guys, the reason we didn't do this show is because of a colonoscopy. I'm going to explain why real quick, and then I'll get into more of it later if anybody's interested. Went and got a colonoscopy. The reason I did that is because it was due. I was supposed to, like, when I was 50, I got one. I was supposed to go back in 10 years, or I was 52. So I waited a little. I waited long. So I thought, well, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Did it, and it turned out fine. Got home. We were all happy. Couldn't pee, man. The anesthesia kept me. It's called urinary retainment. Couldn't pee. No matter what. I had to go to the bathroom. Couldn't pee. So I had to go to the ER. And these 2 nice young ladies were nice enough to run a hose up my hot dog and then get it all that crap out of there. But then they put a what's called a Foley catheter. Well, that's what that was. It was called that. And they blow up a balloon and it holds it into your bladder so it doesn't come out. So there I was. I leave the ER after all that, relieved that I was able to pee. Then I didn't have to pee. It just wound up in a bag. You wear it on your leg. So I didn't feel like doing the show with that going on. I wasn't in the right frame of mind. I called Glenn. I said, well, I'm not doing it, man. I'm just not going to be able to do it right now. He understood. And we're back now because everything's good. So if anybody wanted to know, that's what happened. But they had me. There wasn't any way I couldn't have got that hose out of there if I wanted to, Glenn, because you have to have a special thing that deflates that. So yeah. I had to make an appointment to go to a urologist. So I go there, and they say, "Well, your prostate's a little bit swollen up." So then they wanted to do an operation on me. I said, "I'm not ready for that." So I never did do that. I have to go back, and here's where I'm at, and then we'll move on to storage stuff. I've just got to go back in 6 months just to have it checked again, and I can deal with that. But in the meantime, they gave me this pill. Well, it's a pill in a capsule. It's called Tamulosin, and it's supposed to make everything eat. But I wasn't having any problem peeing, and the only problem I had was caused by the. It was caused by the anesthesia of the colonoscopy. So all this happened because of a successful colonoscopy. That's how frustrated I was, and because then you fall into the medical system. Then you fall in, and you can't get out of it because you got to hose up your hot dog, and you can't get it out. So probably, which I had it in for 7 days. Probably 6 of those days, Glenn, I could have peed on my own. That was 6 weeks ago. Okay. I still got a sensitive part inside my hot dog. Where if I irritated by, you know how sometimes you could pee harder than others? If you irritate it a little bit, then you feel like for 4 or 5 hours that you got to go to the bathroom. You got to pee. And it's so frustrating. You can't lay there and sleep. You can't do anything like that. It's such a low grade irritant feeling. And I'm still having issues with that. So I got to be careful when I pee. So I'm dealing with all that crap because of a colonoscopy, folks. So once you fall into the system, then they're going to check this, and then they're going to give you all the negative things that can go wrong.
Well, they didn't tell you that the anesthesia might cause that, though, did they?
I'm sure they had it in some fine print somewhere, Glenn, but they never did say a word to me about that. And when I left, if I'd have thought that could have been an issue, I would have peed before I left.
Yeah, exactly.
And if I hadn't have been able to, then they could have put one of those catheters in there. And then I wouldn't have had to go to the ER and rushed there because I thought my bladder was going to burst. I had to pee so bad. So I got there, and they actually gave me, they put me in the head of the line there. I got in there pretty quick. So because of all that, I'm gonna move on here. I promise, guys. Because of all that, we didn't do the show. I didn't feel like doing the show. I talked to Glenn about it. He understood. So that's where we're at. And we're back right now. So there it is. Now you know. And if anybody wants to know, they can watch this show. So how do you feel about a chance at an extra space special? And I got a special extra space for my buddy later that has storage auction pirates, turn-ons. I know how you love little old ladies. Well, I mean, those kind of units can be really good. I found a little old lady's unit one time that I think poor gal passed away. And all she left was like a really nice bed, 2 old antique dressers, and a few other than that thing with those dressers were loaded with goodies. My God, all the silver I found in there. Wow. So yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's the top of the little old lady dine and dash unit with small furniture. We're going to have to get into that, man, dog. You got me intrigued. But I am snowed in here right now. So there is that issue. People are mad at Trump for picking a fight with Mexico. No, he didn't pick a fight with Mexico. They are sending drugs, I'm not talking about weed they're sending dangerous drugs over our border. Of course, he's going to be mad at Mexico. They got to quit doing that. So just like Venezuela did that, and then they found out. AFO, and they found out, didn't they? All of these countries around us in our hemisphere, we've already picked up Greenland. Our whole hemisphere is going to be controlled by the United States. China will have their hemisphere. It's going to be like that. And nobody can put a stop to it because it's already happening. And that's just the way it's going to be. It's going to be years of this switching over. New financial system here for 2028, I predict. But all the corruption's got to stop. And it's so bad that all these people they let pour over the border during the auto pin were all just defrauding the government, i.e. the taxpayers, of their money, saying they were running these businesses for and they were just taking the money.
Yeah.
And they got caught. None of them were being deported. But one of the reasons they were here was because I can't say this too much. I got to be careful here. Elections. Let's just say that. You know what I mean, Glenn? I think if you, yeah, that's probably all I'm going to say on that because yeah, that's what it was. I mean, if it's not like we didn't already know that, I mean, think about it. Nobody could be that stupid. So they knew exactly what they were doing. I don't think these people are stupid. I just think they're evil. I think some of them are stupid, but definitely some of them are stupid. The only thing I ever heard Nancy Pelosi say that I thought was the truth is when she said she was reptilian. That was the only thing I've ever believed that she said. And I believe what's his name in California is right there with her. He looks like a damn vampire to me.
Yeah, he's a snake.
Oh, he is a snake. I mean, he might very well be, for all we know. Mad Dog didn't even see the four jewelry. He's got me going on these four jewelry boxes. First time this unit came up, it's been up for over a year. Well, it might cancel again, but those kind of.
I've got to let Henry out, Mark. He's looking at the door.
Oh, okay. How's he doing, Glenn? Is he doing pretty good?
Yeah, he's doing good. I'll tell you a story about him here in a second.
Sure, man. Let him out. Just remember the extra space number is 402. I thought they had 4 numbers, man. Oh, excuse me. Let me get some paper here. All right, 402 extra space. I'm going to write that down because if I don't, I'll forget it. 402. But just beware if you ever get a colonoscopy. Make sure you can pee before you leave the place. Just saying. I would have thought they would have gave me a warning about that, but no, they didn't. Anyway, so I've wrote that down. Mad Dog said, well, Stacker, the good news is you get 4 days to get these units if you can find a way to get out in the next 4 days. Well, it's going to be kind of hard to do here, man, because it's going to be snowing for the next frickin' 4 days. It's snowing right now, and I'm not happy about it, but I can't do anything about it, clearly. Then my cat, Chucky, of course, he wanted to go outside. So I got my coat on, grabbed my camera, and I said, well, he's going to have to find out on his own. So he found out. I got a video of it. For signing a treaty. Yeah, everything's tactical, man. Everything's done for a reason. And just remember, there's what's going on, and then there's what's in the public. If people knew what was actually going on, they wouldn't know. They wouldn't know what to think, Glenn. Understand that this unit that's been coming up for years never been messed with. They never even came to see it. They kept on paying. Yeah, that's a good thing, man. I do got an extra space unit that Stacker might like. He might hate it because of babies. Yeah, if I see baby stuff, man, I usually start throwing up in my mouth a little bit. And then you see the slobber toys, and then they get slobber all over your shirt. Baby stuff. Yeah, I'll have to. Yeah. It'll be hard for me to get past that, man. The stove and the freezer and other stuff's not a lot of money. It's about $20. Could be thousands in the end. But here's the good thing. There's so much money to be made automatically without even having to sell a thing. And precious metals right now. This is the time in history that most people never got to experience before this, ever. Not like this. But, this is kind of like a hobby of mine, going and buying storage units. And I do want to do it again, and you can find gold and you can find silver. So there's that. And there's a little kid's bike. Yeah, see, that right there would make me want to. I don't like it. For a kid's bike, you're going to get $20 for it if it's in good shape.
Yeah.
And that's it. Some do have 3. Okay, man, I believe you. I was thinking they all had 4. Okay, now I'm going to give you the other. All right, I'm going to write them down. 65, 64, and 2154. We got them. That's right. If you want to buy a storage unit this week, your options are Locker Fox and such. Otherwise, there's 10 days. That's fine. I'm going to need those 10 days, man. I mean, if you were looking at what I'm looking at right now, you would see exactly what I'm talking about. I don't think I can get out of the driveway anyway. I don't feel like going out there and shoveling it. Just remember to start with the best one first. I got them in order: 402, 65, 64, and 2154. There's 3 units that each location you might like. Well, let's go look. So I'll star your post, hide your post, and then we're going to go here. Hey, we're finally back doing the show, Lingy. And we've got 0 people here. 1. I think we got 1, but it says 0. Yeah, we got mad because he just made a post. Okay. So we want to go. Forgot which one to hit. Share screen. Oh no. Where is the? Hang on, I'm gonna have to bring this up. Okay, back to StreamYard. Here we go. Ah! Oh crap! There it is. It's showing. Good, we got it. All right, here we go, man, dog. So we want to do this. 40299. We're going to do, I'll put 10 miles in. No, that's not how I want to do it. First, we got to go to facility. And we'll do 402. Okay. Okay. Now it's showing Indianapolis, man. Come on. This is in Indianapolis, man. I mean, I'll take a peek at it, but I'm not going to drive up there. Yeah, if I had a big old trailer and I was about 25 years younger, I might do that. But I just do local shit now. Why would that be 25? No, I could do it now. It's just too far to. I mean, there's some nice. This one's in freaking Colorado. Now, how can I thought that was one facility name, 402. How is that not just one? Let me try it. See, that doesn't make sense, Glenn. How could 402, could there be like a 402 facility each in two different cities?
You wouldn't think.
But it's showing Lakewood, Colorado, and Indianapolis, Indiana. And it goes all the way. Look how many, look, there's 6 pages right here. And there's more in Indianapolis. Well, I'm not going to look at Indianapolis, so we're going to have to go to the next one. I'm wasting my time looking at 6564. Okay, that is what you gave next. Here we go. Yes, there's a jewelry box right there. I see one right there. Well, that's not a jewelry box. That's a little dresser. Okay. Well, let's see if that's one of them. There's a wheelbarrow. Don't tell my wife there's a freaking wheelbarrow right there.
Mad Dog said he forgot to add the 0. It's 04402.
Now that makes more sense. That's why I brought it up about 4 numbers. Now I lost my pen. Look what you've done now, Glenn. All right. We'll go back to that. Well, while I'm here, I might as well look at this. All right. Nothing here. Now, all I did was go back and it says nothing here. Jesus. Everything's the same when it comes to storage treasures. We didn't miss a beat on that. All right. These are, all right. This says babies. I think this is one of them he was talking about. But this, I do not believe that this is a jewelry box right here. That's
No,
like
it looks
a
like
chest of drawers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now there's one of those old, like you had them in a bathroom where they're putting flowers in it, but that was like a an antique bathroom sink in effect, right?
Yeah. Like a wash basin or something.
Yes, and you'd have your water in there, and you would wash in the bowl there. So that would have a little bit of value. So that could be a good clue that there's other stuff. This is a 10 by 15. So there's a lot of stuff. There's that wheelbarrow I was talking about. That wouldn't hurt anything. And then there's the toys. See right there. That's, I don't want to see that. It says today's kids. Oh, good Lord. Uh-oh. Okay, now that is probably a jewelry box right there. You see it? It's leaning up against the wall. The way it's leaning up against the wall like that makes me wonder if there's even anything in it. Because they've got it leaning towards the drawers opening. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there could still be stuff in there. To me, it just doesn't look right. Okay, that's one. That's the only one I see, but Mad Dog sees this stuff better than I do, obviously. I see one. All right. Pressure washer, baby stuff, old bathtub. Old bathtub? How did I miss a freaking bathtub? Maybe they meant that little hand wash basin or whatever. I don't know. That is a jewelry box, albeit a cheap one. Yeah, I'm not really affected on this one. This one doesn't do much for me. Although I will say it, that is probably a jewelry box. It just looks cheap. Cheap jewelry box, costume jewelry. That's my first thought. And slobber toys. Gee, I don't know. I agree. I am very picky when it comes to this stuff. So there's that. So let's try this. I'll go back and do the 0402. 0402. 0402. Oh. Well, it's coming up in California. Maybe he was looking for you, Glenn. This is in Tustin. Are you even close to Tustin?
Oh, that's like 3-4 hours away.
Well, here now, whoa. Now see, this is another one where we put in 0402, showing Tustin, California, but then I come down here and it says Louisville, Kentucky. So
that's weird.
That is weird. That one there says it's got engines in it, which doesn't really interest me. Vending machines. I hate vending machines.
Yeah.
They're hard to, you 99 times out of 100, you don't have the freaking keys to them. I'm going to look at it though, because I'm curious. And I get it. I am very picky when it comes to these things. And here's an engine, just like I can lift that right now. One hand. I'm like Anatoly. I can lift that with one hand. I like the unit. I mean, as far as I just can't.
Yeah, I just wouldn't want to deal with that engine.
If I could call somebody and say, come pick it up and give me scrap value for it, I would probably, if I had that, I'd probably end up doing something. Or it's 10 days and it's already $260, so it's going to be expensive.
Oh,
I had one of these things right here. It's a little press. I got $100 for it. That's what that is. A lot of tools, tool unit. It's not bad. There's another engine over here. That's a transmission, I think. Yeah, this is a good unit. It's just not for me. It's really not bad at all. If you know what you're doing with this stuff, there could be a lot of money here. I don't even know what vehicle that goes into.
Yeah.
And
it's just the engine. Engine turns me off from it. I wouldn't want to deal with the engine.
I mean, I would deal with it if I knew somebody that would come and, that would come and buy that kind of stuff, and I knew they'd buy it. I might do it then, but that'd be the only way I'd do that. And I really, tool units aren't the best for finding gold and silver in, but that's not exactly always the case. This is not an exact science. So it's a tool. I'm just going to say this is a tool unit. Moving on to the next. Okay, that's the one we just looked at. Here we go. All right, there's a couple of good looking possibilities here. Furniture. Yeah, there's that old thing I believe he was talking about. It's like an old mixer. It's like it's missing some parts. Oh, I just farted.
I thought a spring broke in your chair.
No, that was a ripper, man. That was Jack the Ripper. Woo, Lord, that's a killer too. Jack the Ripper strikes again. And there's an ottoman right there. Cheap furniture, not old enough to be antique. That's this junk. It's junk to me. That one there is $40. I mean, this is a lot. End tables, coffee tables, chairs, mirror lamps, dresser totes, KitchenAid, miter saw, personal effects, futon, and vases. Yeah, okay. I mean, I've seen worse. It would help if there was a couple of gold Krugerrands sitting there on the ground,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to. All right, we're going to look some more. Let's look at all one with all these boxes. I like boxes. UPS store. But I don't like units that are packed like this. Look at that. That's not that bad. Backpacks, purses, children's toys. There it is. Oh my God. I don't like it yet. I'm not liking it. A lot of junk, man. Everything I'm looking at right here is junk. Yeah, flowers. Oh my God. I like these kind of things, but that's probably got nail polish and crap in it right there. Could have jewelry in it, but I would probably bet there was nail polish or that kind of genre in there. Uh, so what do I think of this unit right here? I don't like it. I hate it. I don't like it, man. All right, we're moving on. All right, let's see. We're gonna try.
Mad Dog's asking what you think of the unit with the blue KitchenAid mixer.
I wasn't impressed with it. I did. Is that the one that the jewelry box leaning up against?
Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't. The way they had that thing setting, Mad Dog, to me, it reeked of it not even having any jewelry in it.
Yeah, that's how I.
Towards the wall.
Yeah.
The drawers would be kind of coming out. I just don't think they would do that if it was full of jewelry. But I could be wrong. I mean, you gotta go with your guts on these a little bit, unless everything's just showing, and then it's obvious. There's a leap of faith in jewelry boxes. You just got to get that vibe, man. But when you start seeing boxes as clothes, you want to see something else other than clothes. Open boxes. Just, I don't know. This one blows. And it's, all right, here, we're going to try another one. 2154. 2154. This is the one that Mad Dog's holding. I bet you this is the good one. 2154. Uh-oh. Mount Washington. That Mount Washington. I'll go to Mount Washington because I go there anyway. Matter of fact, I got to go there in about a week anyway. I got a medical field hadn't let go of me yet. I got to go to my regular doctor to get my prescriptions extended. See, I don't like the fact that I got to take those, but for right now, I don't I don't have any choice. This one's got a lot of mystery.
Yeah.
And this is a walker. That is a good clue right there. Okay, this one has got a little dust on it too. Now we're talking, Glenn.
Yeah.
See, I think there's something possibly in here. And I love all the totes. It would be a rent job, clearly, because I don't have a big trailer. Okay, we got to look through here. I'm going based on that being a walker. I think that's what that is. Yes. It's a strange looking walker. It's almost got like a belt so you don't fall over. Does it go around their body? That's crazy. I've never seen one looking like that. And there's some furniture. That's like a display. So there could be some collectibles. There's a trunk. That's interesting. The trunk's worth a little bit. Looks good. I like this one a little bit. Oh, here's another trunk. This looks like one of those medical devices, like maybe a CPAP machine or something like that. Possibly. This one's got a little, but here's the problem with it. 10 days ago, it's already $1.20, so everybody and their brother's looking at it. But it's going to be expensive. But there's a lot of mystery boxes here. It's interesting. And being that it's 10 days out, maybe the weather could improve here. I don't know. We'll just have to find out. Let's see what else we got. Boxes, old tires, and coffee table. When it says old tires, I don't like that. You can't even set them out to the trash, man. They won't take them. Now look at that damn dinosaur there. And there's some Uno cards laying on the floor. And bald freaking tires. You can't give those away. This locker sucks. I'm sorry, but this locker sucks. There's Sadie hacking. She does that. Poor Sadie. She does that every day of her life. One time a day she'll hack. Kind of like kitty asthma she's had her whole life. I think she saw this locker and then I mean that it makes me sick too, Sadie. Look at it. It's like somebody did a complete burnout for every day for a year with these tires, man. All right, this one sucks. Are you all right, Sadie? I wish I could read what that. Oh, that says clothes. That is a nice clue, being why would somebody put their walker in a storage unit if they were still around? Two reasons. Maybe they got one that's better or they passed away.
Yeah.
So there's that. And if they passed away, then there's going to be a lot of stuff there they would not have otherwise wanted to let go. Just my take. I like the trunks that are in there. So there's that. All right, I'm going to come back into the chat because I know there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in there right now. So hundreds, I tell you. Let's see if it's there. We are, Glenn. Let's see how many. There's probably multitudes of people here. Let's see. I can't even find the last post I left off. Oh no. Where is it? Where? How can that be? Oh, there it is. Okay. It's supposed to show Louisville, Kentucky. Well, it started out somewhere like Indianapolis or wherever. I don't know what happens, man. Storage Treasures is effed up, man. Tell Stacker to add a 0. Yeah, I did, man, and we got there. Dressers can be a very good jewelry box, though. Yeah, as a matter of fact, the only gold coin I ever found in a storage unit, found in a dresser drawer. It was a 1/10 ounce gold coin that was put into a piece of jewelry. Now think about that. Gold, $5,000 an ounce. That was $500 just sitting right there in the drawer. And it's going to go up in value. I think that'll be more like 2,000
Yeah.
in the long run. So now here I hit the next one and it jumped. There it is. Okay, dresser. Yes. Okay. I figured you might like. Yeah, that one looked all right, man. There was a good clue in there, a lot of mystery totes, trunks. I think it would have had some jewelry in it. It's 10 days out though, so maybe we'll just have to see. Yes, it's a jewelry box. I could see that. I missed that it could be very good if the price is cheap. Oh yeah, I mean that's true. I mean it is a jewelry box. I just the way I saw it leaning up, I just if I had a jewelry box and it had jewelry in it, would I lean it where the drawers would be, where the gravity would pull the drawers? I just don't think I would. Or maybe I'm looking at it too deep. I don't know. Just that's the first thought that came to mind. It wasn't talking about this unit, but you weren't talking about that unit, but you found the jewelry box. Okay. Jewelry boxes are a good clue, man. I mean, I've found cheap jewelry boxes with some good stuff in them before, so there's that. Just a little old lady vibe. Yep. Toys for grandson. Could be that they were in her place for when the grandkids came over. That's very possible. Very possible. It's a vintage 90s jewelry box. I'm not going to say it's the world's greatest. It was a jewelry box. I'll give you that. Yeah, I think it was okay. I mean, it could be. Here's the thing. If you walk into that unit, I can't. You know how some of these YouTubers, they'll find a jewelry box and they'll set it off to the side. We'll wait to the end of the video. I can't wait. I'm sorry. I want to open that sucker right then. Because I know how irritated I am when people do that in the video. They're making me wait. I'll show them. I'll go on to the end of the video and watch that first. So then I got to go all the way there, and then I got to come back to where I was. So why do that? A lot of YouTubers will do that. So I try not to do it, even if it costs me views, because it aggravates me. I don't like to have. I'm going to make you wait. And you're like, no, you're not either. I'm going to skip ahead because I don't want to be waiting. I'm sorry. Maybe that's just me. If there's something like that, I mean, do they not look too? I mean, how could you not want to peek in there? Come on. You've got a jewelry box, you pull it out and you say, we're going to set this aside. And then you can see it at the end of the video after you've watched for another half an hour. I'm like, that's not going to work for me, but. So I'll either skip ahead, and if I'm the one making the video, I'm peeking in the sucker, and I'm like, oh my God, you got to see this, guy. And then I'm showing you that because I'm excited about it, and I'm assuming there's going to be more to show you. That's how I am. I'm not saying that anybody that makes you wait's doing it wrong. I just don't like it. What's your opinion on that, Glenn? You got one?
I've always been that way too. Just show it. That's what you come up on first. Show
it. That's what I do. It's like, and I know that probably does get you more views, but I just know how I feel about it. And if it aggravates me, I don't really want to aggravate somebody that's watching my video.
No, I'm like you. I just fast forward it and see and come back.
Yeah, I mean, you can just take your cursor and just like pull it across the bottom line where the bar is that shows how much of the video is played. And you can wait until you see them bringing it out. Then you can watch that. And then after you see what's in there, then you could scoot all the way back to where you were. And then you know. A lot of people won't mess with it. They'll just sit there. Well, I guess we got to wait. Well, I got to poop anyway. I'll be back in a few minutes and and then maybe by then you're getting there. I don't know. That's just me, folks. Everybody's different. That's a transmissions. That's also a few $100s. It's also heavy as hell too. But if you know somebody that deals with that kind of stuff, that's another story. I just don't want to mess with it. One thing, I can't lift it. It looks like a hernia in the making. I tell you what, man, that motor was freaking heavy. There's no way I'd have got that in my van. You would need like a trailer, like one of those flatbed trailers, where you put the ramp down, get it on wheels, and then you can roll it up there. Yeah, I could see that. I might even be able to do that myself, get a running start. As long as it's got good turning wheels on it, I guess I can get enough momentum going where I can get it up in there. But all I got to do is just avoid units that's got that in it, and I don't have to deal with it. But I mean, if there was a situation where I'm seeing jewelry boxes, I'm seeing stuff that's worth a lot of money, then I could somebody would come and get it for the right price, or so you can always make it work. Cards, yes, she found the blue KitchenAid mixer in the jewelry. Problem is that KitchenAid mixer didn't have any of the attachments to it. It was just sitting there bare. So you know what, I guess you could sell it as parts. If you were selling online, you could. I just don't do that. I just sell local pickup. I think we've shipped 2 items. We shipped a purse to Joy, and we shipped a wooden indent to a lady in I think might have been in Tennessee. I don't even remember now. And she had a complaint about, oh, but this was wood. It's kind of a. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm never going to ship another. I knew you guys, so I thought I'm going to ship them this. That's different.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to. No, I don't. That's why I don't do it. I don't do any of that online crap, man. Do you see the jewelry box yet? This unit, the 4 of them in the clears. Oh, in the I guess they were smaller ones. I've had better luck with those smaller jewelry boxes. Can really be good, man. Ones that, and you can find them mixed in with the bathroom stuff. That's why you got to go through all that stuff, man. I don't care if there's tampons and condoms and all that, and nasty this and that. You know what? You got to go through those. Moving company. Sitting there for a year, moving. Yeah, I like stuff that's been moved by a moving company because they paid money to move that stuff. There's Sadie. Yeah, you hungry, Sadie? Here. Want some cat food? She's looking at. There she goes. Okay. Got to have food here by you, otherwise that's your defense mechanism, man. You got to have some defensive food, man. Tell Stacker what he thinks of the unit with the blue kitchen mixer. Man, what is that? The one that I wasn't really high on, or what? What did I say about that unit? I don't even remember now, man. The one with
yeah, it wasn't that great.
It had the tool. I did say something good about the tools, though. I mean, it had a lot of tools. Could be pretty good money, man. And Jay does take that kind of stuff. But I tell you what, I don't even. He's already wiped me out. I don't have a whole lot more out there. So I do have room to put more stuff. So there's that. It looks like ransack moving company job who was there for years and gone through. Yeah, I don't like the idea of gone through. 4 jewelry boxes. Why would somebody have 4 jewelry? Well, I'll tell you what, though. I mean, I'll answer my own question. I bought that one unit that one time right up the street. It was a 10 by 20. It had 13 jewelry boxes, and they were all loaded with silver and gold. Well, I mean, they were all loaded with jewelry, and each had silver and gold. And I was finding old coins, silver coins, all that stuff now today. That was like 4 to 5 years ago. All that stuff is worth so much more now. Think about it. So at the time, that was a $10,000 unit. It's triple that. It's triple that. That unit didn't have any tubs. The one with the KitchenAid mixer did. Yeah, that was a decent unit, man. Decent. Bandits and chat have blowing snow and going back out. Yeah, man, it's still coming down here, man. We've got like tiny snow, like little bitty flake, but it just keeps coming. It just keeps coming. And it's going to be like this for a freaking week, man. It's going to get down to close to zero, if not zero. So I got to run the water back here. I got to drip, drip, drip. I got to run a little heater so to offset the cold on the outside so we don't get any pipes. And so far, so good. So we're dealing with it. It sucks, man. Vintage clothes. Wow, this would be a KT. Yes, she would love to sell the vintage clothes. That's one thing she's really good at. She'll sell all those clothes, get good money for them. We sell jackets and shoes. I mean, the clothes. I mean, some of the designer clothes. Then I'll set those aside and trade them for like gold and silver scrap at some point. Sometimes I have to hold it up to a year though, but time's got a way of passing no matter no matter what. Anyway, as a prime example, look at this guy right here. I was just a kid. Now look at me. You know what I mean? Look at it. Yeah, it happens. And then you want it to happen, you know, and then you don't. It's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. I do like that dust. Yeah, when you got a little bit of dust, I think that's the one at Mount Washington. In the trunk, I do love the Storage Stacker Pirate Special. I love the dust. I love the vintage Halloween. Vintage Halloween stuff sells good. Right around at that time. Sky Warriors in the house. Yeah. He's dealing with the snow today. Don't like it. I don't like all this snow, man. It's a walker. Yeah, there's vintage and there's a cedar waterfall trunk. Yeah, I like trunks, man, because you get in there and it's got like a bunch of old quilts. Those are good, man. You want to get those. It's a vintage lawyer briefcase, china cabinet. I'm not a big fan of china cabinets, although I can sell them. They're big, bulky, heavy, and they don't bring a whole lot. And a lot of people don't want them. But you'll always find somebody that'll buy it. It might take you 3 or 4 weeks to sell them, but you clean them up, beat up, they'll sell.
Yeah, they're not like they used to. Used to be, everybody wanted one. It's not like that anymore.
Yeah, but we have been able to sell them. It's just I don't like dealing with it because for all the reasons I mentioned, they are friggin' heavy, and they don't move fast. Dressers move fast.
Yeah.
Table and chairs moves fast. It's just stuff like that people need, that goes. The display cabinets. Yeah, display cabinets of pretty much every kind sell good for us as well. Display cabinets. Yeah, I agree there. Is that a breathing machine or is it I thought it was one of them CPAP machines. I guess that's similar. That's what I thought it was. I actually I bought a unit one time that had the silver scrap in a suitcase, and there were 2 CPAP machines, and we put them on Facebook Marketplace, and they flagged them, but they were up for a minute, and both of them sold, even though they took them down. Because those things cost somebody like $1,000, man. And we had them up for $200. So we saved somebody $800. See, I think it's criminal what they do with the medical stuff.
I'm sure
I mean, I think it's legit criminal.
they want all the monopoly to be on them, for them.
Yeah. And hopefully the world's changing, and that's going to be a thing of the past. I know Trump's already gotten it to where we're going to be given the same ability to buy our prescription drugs at the prices other countries were given, because they always wanted to just suck the blood out of Americans. And they were using us as the blood suckers, man, or the blood suckies.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. I mean, you could look at the numbers and see that was the case. Why would we have to pay 10 times more than somebody in another country? That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense, man. So Trump he's fixed that. So there is that. So things are happening a step at a time in the right direction. Boom, boom, boom. And then if you just watch regular media, you'll never hear about anything good. You'll just hear about these narratives they want you to know about. So you'll hate everything American and everybody that lives here. Bunch of hate mongers. I'm tired of them, man. I'm done with them. Open the borders, let everybody pour in. What could go wrong there, Glenn? Well, we know why they did it. And it's freaking evil. And I'll never forget it. I figured you might love your favorite facility to go to. I wasn't going to pick the one that's leaning next to the wall. I mean, the one with the personal effects and the jewelry, the kitchen. That kitchen ain't got you, man. It got you. The mixer, yeah. If it had all the components to it, it would have been better, but it looks stripped down. I believe it's an old lady that passed away. There's either a breathing machine. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Or a camera bag. I don't think it was a camera. I do like the walker. It's a good sign. Yeah, I agree. I know trunks. You can score big. Gun. Also want to see if we could find Glenn a storage unit in his area. I don't know if it's the best of time for him either, but I don't know.
Yeah, I've got some stuff going on right now too.
That's the thing. The timing's not right. I'm dealing with the weather. If it wasn't for this, if it was nice weather, I would be excited right now. Only thing I'm getting excited about is playing chess on the computer right now. I'm not going to go out in this crap, man. I'm just very excited that I've got through all this medical shit. I lost like 6 weeks of my life, and literally it was hell. I could have handled it a little bit better, but I wasn't a happy camper. When you got a daggone hose up your hot dog, Glenn, I'm sorry, but it changes your whole paradigm. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
And to this day, which is like 6 weeks ago, there's still a sore spot inside the. I know you don't need to hear that, but that'll put you in a bad mood. I'm sorry.
Well, sure.
Yeah, it will. And it still hadn't cleared up. And I'll be damned if I want to bring anything up about it, because then they want to do it. Oh, well, we got to cut your head off to check this down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like,
yeah.
I'm not playing them games anymore. Every time it's oh, you need to go to this. No, I need to go home and eat dinner. I'm sorry. Give you a daggone hose for your hot dog that you can't take out until you go to a specialist. That's a rigged system, Glenn. I'm sorry, but that's rigged.
Yeah.
And I know they do the best they can. Maybe they think they're doing the right thing, but I mean, I don't know. When you've got something you can't even remove it, to me, that's just. I don't like to lose total control, man. And I feel like that. Okay, I've had my rant over it. I knew that I was going to bring it up. See, that was another reason why I didn't want to be on this show until it was mostly over with. And I explained it to you how I knew how that was going to go. I can talk about it now because it's mostly behind me, but then it was too fresh, man. It's too fresh. I know the old lady that lived in a shoe. She had so many children. She didn't know what? She kept pumping them out, man. Oh no, I'm reading the wrong. I know the old lady left the KitchenAid without the KitchenAid attachment. Well, I mean, I guess they could have been in a box there, but I would have to assume that they weren't in there when I see it and it's not there with it. I'm just going to assume that it's not. And then
it's usually how it is.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think I don't even think the poor old lady was around anymore. It just fits the one I'm thinking of. But it would be worth over $100 if you could find the if. But see that word, that 2-letter word if. It's like if your aunt had balls, she'd be your uncle, kind of. That's got the if on it. If is one of the long short words that there is. If. Okay, but if we were, yeah, maybe if you had all the parts. If you're going to gamble on one unit, would you gamble on the wheelbarrow jewelry unit, or I think the wheelbarrow jewelry unit, because my wife's wanted a freaking wheelbarrow forever, and spring is coming. It just doesn't look like it. So I mean, I'd have to get the one with the wheelbarrow because we've been trying to get one in a storage unit for years. We bought one time years ago when we used to, hop around at our yard sales. Bought one and we used it up, and the wheels, they fell apart. So I said, well, we'll get one in a storage unit at some point. Well, I'm still looking. Mad Dog says, they left the personal paperwork. They put the KitchenAid mixer up front. I think there's something in those 4 jewelry boxes. Well, there could be. If there's 4 of them, I'm betting there's probably something in there. And even if you get just costume jewelry, if you get the old antique costume jewelry, you're okay. Because if you start finding that, there's going to probably be gold and silver. Because that's back in the day when pretty much everybody had silver, it was cheap. I don't like the fact it was missing the bowl and the beaters. Yeah. That stood out to me, man. It stood out like a sore thumb. And actually, it stood out like having a hose up your hot dog. I'm telling you, it's there. The only thing good about that, Glenn, you could sit here all day. You wouldn't have to get up and go pee, man. You just every now and then you'd have to go put your foot up on the toilet and open the valve and just pee out your foot. That's exactly what I had to do, man. Just pee out your foot. I don't care. I'm everybody, I'm letting them understand my frustration. Because you already could figure out that I was totally frustrated and all that. I don't like losing control. I don't. To me, if somebody leaves the personal fix and was paying on it for over a year, I think that's Julie. Well, it's possible, but you know what? I have bought units before, Mad Dog, where it had been there for years and they paid rent for years. I'm getting in there and all I'm finding is a pile of crap. I'm like, why did they waste their money on all the years they paid on this pile of crap? I don't know if you've ever seen one like that, Glenn, but I have before. I've gone in there and then I'm like, why did they pay the rent on this? This isn't worth 1 month's rent. I don't understand it. What do you think the best thing Trump's done so far in his presidency? Basically, well, he set up the whole system, the whole financial system, to where we're not going to have to pay taxes anymore. we're going to have an internal revenue service, an external revenue service that's be funded by tariffs and sales tax on new items. And let's just remember that he saved millions of lives. Millions. He stopped all these wars. There's only one left to stop. That's the one that everybody in the news media, they will do anything to keep it going, because that's their playground that's their satanic playground over there. Everything nefarious in the world is going on there. That's my opinion. I'm just going to leave it at that. He saved millions of lives. I mean, just taking out the cartels, all the poison they're sending over. One of those boats he blew up, one of them saved, they predicted 25,000 lives because of all the ones that's been lost. So if you really care about human life, and the media, they don't. I think they're NPCs anyway. I really do. And you gamers will know what I mean. Non-player characters. They're soulless. So what is the best thing? Well, ending the Federal Reserve. Fixing the medicals, the pharmaceuticals where we can pay a fair price for them like everybody else. I mean, I could go on and on. Deporting all the criminals that are killing Americans every day.
Yeah.
Got God back on our side because he eliminated Roe versus Wade. Trust me on that one. I better shut up, man. It gets pretty deep. I could go all day, man. Of what good? It just doesn't stop. The good things. I could just go on and on and on and on and on. But you got to remember, there's a faction of people that don't want the good things. They don't want the freedom. They don't want us to have money. They don't want any of that. And those are the ones with all the influence. They got the media, the talking heads, the NPCs, and then they deem the guy that's fixing all of our problems as the enemy. So there's that. So, yeah, I'd say that. Did I leave anything out, Glenn? I'm sure I did. Basically, he saved all of our lives. And I'm not bloviating by saying that, because you could see what they wanted to do. Right? I mean, look, what do you think they were going to do with all these criminals they were sending over here? What do you think they were going to? And then when one of theirs, like, I better shut up, but like runs over one of these border patrol, runs them over with a car trying to, and you defend yourself. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Well, right. Did you see the one guy that ran at him with a megaphone?
I didn't see that. I don't watch a
lot.
Yeah,
he tried to hit one of the ISIS with a megaphone, and the ISIS guy grabbed him by his ankle and picked him up and drug him across the asphalt on his face, and he's trying to file a lawsuit against him now.
Well, you fuck around and you find out. You know, you leave the guys alone. They're trying to save this country. And if they don't understand that, they need to get out of the way.
And of course, the Democrats are saying he was just trying to voice his opinion.
There ain't no freaking Democrats, Glenn. There's socialist communists. There's a combination of both. Them leaning more hard communists. And the ones that don't understand it just don't understand it. There's a lot of difference between what used to be Democrats. So I used to be a Democrat.
Same here.
You know, no, never again. But they used to be more conservative than a lot of the conservatives are now. I mean, back in the day, there were some good things about it. Not anymore. Not anymore, man. I think if people can't see it now, they're never going to be able to see it. And I think
Oh,
that's the NPCs that I'm talking about. It's like
well,
soul.
well, you got some brainless people, believe me.
I think they're literally are brainless, man. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, yeah.
Just totally. How can people still? Oh, that guy in the office, he's just so mean. He's he's destroying everything. No, he's saving your ass. You just don't know it. Some people will never get it, man. They're not going to get it. Just we got 10 more minutes. Time flies when you're having fun. And
Yeah.
we've done this show in 6 weeks. I'm glad we got to do it again, and we'll be back next week. As long as my power's on. I've even got a backup power system for I might even still be able to be on. In that unit I bought with the $1,900 in gold, which is probably $3,800 worth of gold in it by now, and it had the gun safe, which was empty, but the gold made the unit. But I found that it is a what am I trying to say here? Solar. That's what it is. You can plug it in and charge it, or you can use solar to charge it. So even if you had no power, as long as you had the sun shining, you could have a generator.
Yeah, you did good by keeping that, not
I
selling it.
was going to keep that. I would have got $500 to $800 for it, and I would much rather have the generator because it doesn't make any noise. It's not like you got to strum, and try to start it. No, it's quiet. You can sit here, and I used this computer modem. I had everything hooked up to run the computer, and I was on it for 5 hours, and it only used it's like 15 to 18% of its power.
Well, and you can set it in your house too, unlike a gasoline generator.
Yeah, I mean, I got it sitting right over there, and it's got its own little zip up case. You just unzip it, and then you just plug it in. You just plug your stuff in, turn on a switch, and you got power. It's almost like it's almost like it's coming out of nowhere. So that was just that one item in the gold. I was way up in that unit. I paid $2,000. Had I not found the gold, though, I wouldn't have made any money. But I still would have had that, and I would have felt okay. Well, at least I got this. And then there was other stuff we sold in there. Just I forget a lot about the other just average things. There was some furniture in there, and we sold. We had 2 desks that were in there. I think we got like, I don't know, $75 a piece for, and other things. So put that generator. That was awesome. And then I found that little packet. I'm like, oh, what's this? Poured it out. It's just rings and chains, all gold. Checked it all out. It was all gold. Why would somebody leave that in there? It just makes no sense. And then the only thing negative, other than well, there was 2 negative things that happened in that unit. The gun safe was empty, and the washer dryer, both of them were jacked up. I would have got $800 for that set. So anyway, I gave them away. I just told one dude, I said, "You come pick them up, take them," because he answered the ad. I said, "Just come and get them," and he came and got them. And I said, I don't care if you make money. I had to get rid of them. I'm not going to start putting money into it when I don't know what I'm doing. If it was something small, I would have done it, but it wasn't. I don't like messing with them new things, man. I'd much rather find an old washer dryer, not real old, but just semi old, because they're easy. But them newfangled things where you got to have this power board here, you got to zippity doo dah around this, and yeah, You got to tap your toes together. I don't. I'm sorry. And they were heavier than hell, Glenn. I don't
Yeah.
know how I got them in the van. They were that heavy. I don't even know how I did it. I think for a while I was sore. So what what I've seen the words. Let me read this post again. What do you think the best thing Trump's done so far in his presidency? Well, I went over that. Besides saving our lives, I think there's a lot. Probably saved a lot of people all around the world. They're going after all these countries that were eliminating people of a certain faith. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
People just need to wake up, man. And I think a lot of people are, but it's very disheartening when there's so many people that are just ignorant to what's going on, man. And they believe these habitual liars that are on these news shows. Yeah. There's a new media, folks, and it's not the old media. You know, there's independent, whatever, all the independent news that's coming out is going to replace all that. You know, there'll still be people, well, I want to watch my CNN. They tell it like it is. No, they tell it like they want you to think it, and you will think it, or you'll be the enemy. You must think it. It's kind of like an old Twilight Zone shows, man. I think we are in the Twilight Zone right now. We just don't realize it. Some of the things going on is just like Twilight Zone, and maybe worse. Did you ever watch that show, Glenn, The Twilight Zone?
Yeah.
I might have to
Yeah.
go start watching more of those because some of them are going to start ringing true.
Oh yeah, I've watched reruns of them, and some of the stuff they're doing, like you said, it's it's what's going on right now.
Yeah, I think it was predictive programming, man. I'm not even bullshitting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's that. So I mean, this what Mad Dog said here. This is like I could go on all day on what he's done to help this country. Just look at all the fraud and waste he's uncovered.
Yeah.
Who was paying all that? Well, anybody that's paying taxes, and they were just laughing at us. All the while saying that everybody of a certain color isn't any good. Now, that's the definition of racism. Am I right? But
Yeah.
it's not. Because you can pick out a color you don't like, and if you get the media to agree with you, then they'll go along with it. It's insanity. It's bloody insanity, man. It was like the Twilight Zone. They had a show like that. There was the guy that had a black and a white face down the middle, but his white side was on the left and not the right. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So if you had if the half of your face was a color on the wrong side, if the colors were inverted, that was the ones they didn't like. So you're seeing that now. And the people that are part of the problem are that same color. Now, what in the hell does that tell you? It's a bunch of bullshit. It's all about tearing down the fabric of our society and rebuilding it in the eyes of the new world order that Bush 41 so eerily talked about. Like, who in the hell are you to be saying what you're going to do to everybody else? Because that's your little vision of your little Hitler vision of things. You know, who the hell did he think he was? Wrinkled flag and all at his funeral. Think about that, Glenn. Wrinkled flag. You know what that means, right?
Yeah, I know what it means.
Yeah. Well, he had it. So there's that. So I guess I guess he got his. He fucked around and found out. So anyway, it's 1:30, guys. Today's show was going to be a little bit different because I had to explain why. I don't think anybody's here, but that's okay. But I'm glad we did it. I'm glad we're back to doing it, Glenn, and we'll hit it up again next week. I just had to explain why we hadn't done it. To anybody that might come back and watch this. Maybe there is 2 people here, but some people do watch it on rerun, and they'll know now why we weren't here. And hopefully they understand, because when you got to hose up your hot dog, I'm sorry, it just changes everything. So I guess that's all, man. So I guess I'll leave everybody with our outro. I don't know what it's. Oh, there. Wait a minute before I go, I want to show you something, Glenn.
Okay.
I made our thumbnail out of this. Check this out. Look at that. We're the Muppets. Do we look like the Muppets there, man?
Yeah.
All righty, guys. I appreciate everybody that came in here today, and we touched on a few things. My opinion on certain things. I was glad to look at the units. Right now, though, with the snow, I'm not going to be able to buy anything for about a week, 2 weeks, at bare minimum 2 weeks. We'll just have to see. So I'm going to leave everybody with this. Glenn, you have a great week, my man.
You also, Mark.
All right. Take care, my friend.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.